Hi, this is Elliot Wave Sage. I'm going to go ahead and do an end of the day market update. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. So, market rallied pretty much, um, in this area of indecision with traders. There's a lot of possibilities in terms of what the count could be, and even when you look at market dynamics and try to correlate where we could end up, there's really no clues. But today we did get one that kind of made a move with the dollar breaking this low here. So the dollar should push lower. This more than likely will be upside for the market. It could even, come up, but I think it's whatever it's going to do here. I think eventually it will come back down. So I do think any rise is going to be rejected later. And if we just fall, that's good. And then the market will rise, and then we can go into this wave three. So the market, if based on my intuition of the market and where the dollar is, I wouldn't be surprised to see a drop and then a pump and then a crash. That's and again, I would have to change these counts around. These would be invalid, but I do think you could see a drop and then a rip and then a crash. The other alternative with the dollar is a rip and a crash. So it is really tricky environment. So going on the sidelines is what I decided to do, and I'll react to the move instead of trying to guess the move. That's my strategy. So did a scalp on the Qs on this dip, and then we'll go on the sidelines. And again, a lot of people expect this fifth wave, and so many are saying a flat here online. I think if this does take this high out, I think it has a chance to go much higher. So I think you got to be really careful, hoping for that scenario. Now you can't rule it out. You can't rule it out as a flat, and it would be a nice flat. But I do think then what would happen is the leveraged fund SQQQ would make a new low and start a new sequence lower, ultimately pushing it to 28. So you really, if you're a bear, you need to see this 33.25 hold, and it's been doing that. It did that today. It was really, having a difficult time dropping, but the volume isn't going to come in until the Fed makes their decision, and then the volume will come in and the market will make its move. I mean, it could be this, right? It could be a lot of things, but it could also still be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the longer we go, the less likely that is because of the cycle break, and we kind of gone too far already to call this a 4 and a 5. But I'll still consider it. But the other alternative, it's another like three wave move down, or it's a 1 2 1 2, right? A 1 2 1 2, and then you get a massive rise in the Nasdaq. So the market is dangerous. People just thinking, oh, it's going to crash. You got to be careful because it could crash upward and then crash. But either way, we all know we'll be in lower lows. It's just how we get there. But right now, the market is really in an indecisive spot. So the Dow Jones looks like it could still extend to 32,588. So that's another 300 points higher, and then it may sell off here, and then of course it could go higher. And again, a lot of pro traders are getting euphoric on the Dow, thinking it's about to have an explosion higher, kind of like how I was when we were over here. So again, you have a nice three wave move, an inverse head and shoulders reversal. Could this thing just go all the way up? It's possible. But I do think whatever it does, it will fail again. So could this be a massive flat, 3, 3, and then a crash? Sure, it could do that. Or it could just crash. We don't know. So that's why it's very, there's not a lot of good setups in the market. There's just not a lot of good setups. But I think we'll get some good ones in the next couple days if you're patient. I think that the Russell's in this pattern will probably come back up to 180. And then continue its decline. But again, the C wave, since it's a flat, could still come up. We don't know. I would be surprised if it just drops from here, but I do think, something like this. So these are my counts. I think the Nasdaq's tough, but right now, as of right now, it's still the 1-2's valid. Still hasn't been invalidated. And again, when I look across the market, it seems as if traders and people are just like, yeah, they're gonna pivot, they're gonna fold, and it's gonna be risk on because that's what they always have done. And I don't blame them because they always have done this. But what if this time's different? What if they actually do something unthinkable and do 50 basis point hike? That will get you a massive sell-off. So we don't know what they're going to do, but whatever they're going to do, we'll have to react to it. And so sidelines for me until we get this play this out a little more. The dollar breaking down does show though it could favor some upside, and if this SPY moves higher, then you probably go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and try to short at around 402, 404 in that area, and SPXS or short. So then Bitcoin running out of gas like we're seeing now. We have that divergence here even within this wave. We didn't have that in my last video, and we have it. So it's in danger of having a massive drop. And the one thing the bulls could hope for is you get a pullback to 25 and make a new high. That will negate the bearish view, and then that would become a clear 5-wave structure off the lows. Pretty much that would confirm the bear market is over in Bitcoin. So this more than likely is going to come back and test this 25 too, and if it fails, then it's lights out, game over for Bitcoin for a while. But if it can bounce and make a new high and then pull back again, then that's a massive opportunity to go long. Or for a speculator, you could try to go long here at this support area, but I would stop out probably around 23.9 if it because it could still wick through here and come back. So, but I think that's what Bitcoin is gonna do. Gold, we needed that divergence, and we got it now with that final push to 2,000. I believe we got that divergence now, this little burst higher. So now we have an impulse. It's no longer any flat. So I believe either one is finished, and now the market can go lower and correct this impulse in two, which would be that would be a great lineup with the indices drop in and tech drop in and the dollar rise in. So this is like a syncs up really nice, and then this is a nice buyable dip whenever this wherever this is finished. But as you can see, it'll be correct in the September 22 cycle, so it's going to take a while to play that out. If this is 5, again, if that's 5, like I have it, then the bond market, I think it's waiting for the Fed meeting. It really needs the Fed meeting to make a decision. The 10-year could very well be done, and this will be bearish for tech. If not, if we can drop a little more, and then we have more upside in tech, more than likely, and then we drop in the massive drop. So we don't know like where we're heading. So it's again, market's very indecisive on what to do, but the dollar did make a decision today by pushing lower, making a lower low, which should bring us lower. Even if we bounce, we should come back down. The ideal case, we just drop down here, end this thing, and then we get the sell-off going in the market. All right, so that's the update. I don't think we're going to get any major moves until the Fed announcement. I mean, I think I had heard Tuesday they show the dot plots and then the rate decision Wednesday or something like that. So maybe there's some optimistic information tomorrow to get this pump, and then Powell rains on everyone's parade on Wednesday. So like I said, I'll be looking for some setups, but today there really wasn't any. It was just some scalping type trades really out there. Commodities, not ready yet. NRGU needs to get down to this area. So until that happens, the commodities are off limits. I'm looking at technology, AMD. It looks like we're done this 4 here. So again, just one more high. And as you know, SOXS tends to trade more with AMD than NVIDIA. So when this happens, that I have right here, may be tempted to pick SOXS up again. We'll see. But again, you have 5 waves off the bottom, so it's probably going to respect this low. So you come back, maybe come back down to 74 later. Tesla looks like it's got 3 waves. It's bouncing and within here. So if I look at this, perhaps it can go a little bit higher and then make one more swing, you know, the correct in 3. Microsoft, I believe, is in a 4. See, so all the tech looks like it just needs this one last high, right? One last high. But NVIDIA is a little different. NVIDIA looks like it's got a 5, a 3, a 4, and a 5, and can extend even higher than some of the others. And I think that's it for now. Let's look at the financials. FRC destroyed. You know, it's definitely going, I think, going under 10. But then in this area, it's either not going to survive or it will be a, you know, last minute save. UBS struggled in this flat, and I don't usually buy puts or calls, but you know, this was just too juicy of an opportunity. Here you have an A, B, C, and it was just sitting there, and you know, and it's more than likely going to go much lower. So I mean, now, of course, you could take that out, and then it negates the trade, of course, but it's gonna be under pressure. It's gonna be tested. We'll see. Right now, a lot of the banks are not able to overcome any kind of pressure from the short side. Well, maybe this is different. It could swing up, another swing. We'll see. Then just everything in the financials. You know, Credit Suisse, you know, got, you know, now some penny stock. Rumors around Wells Fargo online. I was looking at this chart. You know, it looks like a 1 2 1 2, and then a 3 4 3 4 1. So it's probably finishing up this cycle with the divergence. So it probably will bounce, and then it could become a speculative short opportunity. You know, if you know, just to speculate, could this be you know, on the list of, you know, banks that they're going to be, you know, in trouble and get in on that? So I don't know. I mean, like I said, it could be that, and then it bounces, and then it fails in a 3-wave decline. So something like that. Just an idea, and you have the bullish, really massive divergence, almost too much divergence, you know, but we haven't broke the cycle, I don't think, so don't know. We'll see. This is just an idea, setup idea that may or may not happen. And that's the market. All right, so big day, next couple days in the market, big moves. We also have the Trump indictment potential, which could, you know, conflate, you know, why the sell-off is happening. People may not understand. Imagine if that happens the same day, you know, Powell, you know, is doing his thing. No one will really know what, you know, what news caused what, you know, but we're gonna have a very busy week this week with news events. And then, of course, once the blackout window for the Fed speakers end, I mean, OMG, I think we're going to be flooded with speakers to kind of get this confidence back. So if we thought Fed speak was bad before, I can only imagine what it's going to be like in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But anyway, that's the market, and we'll see what setups we can get tomorrow.